Welcome back, Coyotes. I hope you had an amazing winter break.
On today's show, we have an interview with a local surf shop, the history of InNOut, and a Coyote Cam to see how your winter break went.
I'm Ainsley.
And I'm Mr. Lion.
And Cmstv starts now. I'm very hungry right now. What about you, Mr. Lion?
Me too. You know what sounds good? An InNOut hamburger.
Well, good thing we have a story coming up about food.
That's right, Ainsley. Here's Kieran to tell us a little bit about the history of InNOut Burger. Let's check it out.
Hey Coyotes, today we went to a local Carl's Bread InNOut to share with you some interesting facts about the store, the history, and their secret menu. First off, InNOut has walk-in dining and a drive-thru where you can order from their menu, which contains a variety of burgers, drinks, and sides. The store also has a not-so-secret menu, which you can access through their website, which contains 3x3, double meat, 4x4, grilled cheese, animal style, and protein style. InNOut has a very interesting history, as it was first founded in 1948 by Harry Sanders, who introduced California's first hamburger drive-thru. In 1954, InNOut came out with their iconic logo that we all know and love today. And in 1963, they came out with their most popular item, the Double Double. Another fun fact about InNOut is just in October, they celebrated their 70th year anniversary. That's it for now, Coyotes. Thanks for watching. Make sure to go check out InNOut and sending it back to the anchors.
Wow, that was really good stuff. I never really realized how much history InNOut had.
Yeah, me either. I learned so much.
Hey, Mr. Lion, what did you do over winter break?
I went camping in Yosemite. Turns out it's extremely cold. What did you, Ainsley?
I went to Julian and Legoland.
That sounds fun. Speaking of fun, here are Becky and Jasmine with some questions about what some of you did over winter break. Take it away, Becky.
Today, me and Jasmine went around campus to see what your guys' favorite thing was over break. What was your favorite thing over break?
Snowboarding.
Skating. My favorite thing to do over break is go snowboarding.
I went to Yodi Land with my friends Alex and Danny.
My favorite thing I did over break is go to Davington City with Alex and Omar, bro.
So over break, I had an awesome winter break. It was my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, and our whole family traveled to Europe. We did Barcelona, San Sebastian, and Paris. It was incredible, like a trip of a lifetime.
My favorite part about break was probably just getting a break from school and maybe going out and snowboarding. That was pretty fun. Going to the beach, hang out with friends.
Over break, I did a whole lot of stuff, had fun with family, but I also built a ton of Legos. I got my dinosaur collection, I built Yoda, and I built the Y-Wing here, and it even has parts that shoot. Pew!
My favorite thing over break was opening my Christmas presents.
I got pro clothes and 501s.
Money.
I received money.
The favorite thing that I did over break was I was able to take my family to Disneyland for 3 days, and we got to go on lots and lots of rides, and the Incredicoaster was the best.
Now sending it back to the anchors.
That was so awesome.
Wow, it looks like most of you went out and got moving.
Hey, Mr. Lion, do you know there's a surf shop in College Bend Village?
I know there's a couple. Which one are you referring to?
The surfboard broker surf shop. We sent Miles, Connor, and Lucas downtown to check it out. Let's see what they found out.
Hey Coyotes, today we went down to Surfboard Broker in the village to check it out. What time do you guys open and close, and what days are you open?
So it's kind of a tricky question because we were every day 12 to 6, closed on major holidays. And now we're kind of switching into a casual transition into appointment only. We wanted the customers to have a little more personal experience. Sometimes we open the doors at 12 and it's sharks in a feeding frenzy in here. And we don't have enough time to answer everyone's questions, yada yada. And so yeah, and if the surf's firing like it is now, we can close up shop, and it's a lot easier. It was established in the early 2014, I want to say around March.
What's the most common length of a surfboard people buy?
I mean, it all depends. That's kind of seasonal. So like today we're having a big swell, like blacks, and everywhere is kind of going off. It's 8 to 10 plus, so a lot of the step ups are selling. During summer, we sell a lot of the fishy hybrid zones. Just kind of all depends. A couple different variables that go into it.
On an average surf day at Carlsbad, what's your favorite board to ride, whether it's fiberglass or foamy?
It's a tricky question because we're like catch and release here a lot of the times, but usually something like fishy, hybrid zone. I like doing airs, 360s, stuff like that. I like turns. So, but the main focus is airs, so I'll get on something a little wider nose, maybe a little pulled in hybrid tail. I've been surfing the model, the Speedster from Bar Surfboards lately. That thing's been working pretty good, but I mean, it just goes in like waves, you know? You'll like one model a lot and kind of surf that for a little while, and then you'll try something else out and see what sticks.
This is Connor, Lucas, and Miles sending it back to the anchors.
That shop was amazing.
I agree.
For this next story, we pulled a quick video off YouTube to tell us a little bit about the history of Friday the 13th.
Should I close my eyes?
No, you should be safe here in the studio. Let's check it out.
This week we're going to find out why Friday the 13th is unlucky. Let's do this. We're all familiar with the idea that Friday the 13th is bad luck. Heck, even some hotels skip the 13th floor on the elevator buttons just for this reason. But why? The origin of this superstition is unclear, but the first noted references showed up around the mid-19th century. A U.S. Army captain named William Fowler founded the 13 Club, a group of 13 men in New York with an aim to prove superstitions false. They gathered for the first time on Friday the 13th, 1881, and their club activities included things like walking under ladders and breaking mirrors. Sign me up, because that sounds like fun. Donald Dossey, a folklore historian, suggests that the bad vibes associated with Friday the 13th have roots in ancient history. The number 13 has a shade of misfortune in Nordic mythology, as well as cultural and religious history. In numerology, the study of the symbolism of numbers, 12 stands for completeness, and the 13 is thought of as odd or out of place. It's simply an uncomfortable number. The origins of the unluckiness of Friday as a day are a little bit fuzzier. The name Friday was chosen to honor the Norse goddess Frigg, aka Freya. She was the goddess of love, beauty, wisdom, war, death, and magic. This day was considered to be extremely unlucky for weddings, and later on the Christian church attempted to demonize the goddess, which also may be a factor in that day's bad luck. With all of those factors added in, it's no wonder people think this day is unlucky. But don't worry, you're gonna be fine because you're amazing. How do you feel about this superstition? I personally would love to be a part of the 13 Club if they're looking for new members. As usual, I'll be answering a new question every Thursday, so ask anything you want to know in the comments or on Facebook and Twitter. This has been Life Noggin. Don't forget to keep on thinking.
For our last bit of entertainment, we put together some jokes for you.
What kind of jokes? Like knock-knock jokes?
No, these jokes are actually my favorite ones. They're called dad jokes. Do you want to hear one?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Get it? Apparent? Like mom and dad or something, right? Parent? Okay, no. Well, here are some dad jokes for you to enjoy anyways. awesome. Every one of those was fantastic.
Well, Coyotes, before we go, here are a couple of announcements.
The Learning Lab will be open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday before school at 7:45 if you want to come and get some extra help before the semester ends. School will be closed on Monday due to the observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Friday for semester break day. Before we go, here's a quick look into the life and efforts of a humble Baptist preacher, Martin Luther King Jr., as he fought to uphold equal rights for all people across the country, regardless of race, color, or creed.
He began his career as a Baptist preacher, but went on to lead a sweeping grassroots effort to end racial discrimination, known as the Civil Rights Movement. Along the way, Martin Luther King Jr. made history and emerged as one of the most influential leaders of the 20th century. Before the Civil Rights Movement began, segregation policies known as Jim Crow laws kept African Americans in a separate and generally inferior world from whites. African Americans went to separate public schools, ate in separate restaurants, and even had to use separate public restrooms. They had to sit in the back of buses and give up their seats to any white people standing. But in 1954, Jim Crow suffered a stunning defeat. The Supreme Court declared that separate schools for blacks and whites were inherently unequal in a case called Brown versus Board of Education. The following year, in Montgomery, Alabama, a tailor's assistant named Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat for a white passenger. Parks was arrested, but Martin Luther King organized a full-fledged boycott of the Montgomery City bus system. 13 months later, the buses integrated. The Montgomery boycott inspired more efforts to end segregation. In 1963, King and other civil rights leaders organized the March on Washington. More than 200,000 people came to the nation's capital to demand equality for blacks and to urge Congress to pass pending civil rights laws. Standing at the base of the Lincoln Memorial, King spoke the words, "I have a dream today," describing his hope for a future in which all men would be brothers. The civil rights movement was changing the nation. In 1964, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, which made racial discrimination in public places illegal. The same year, King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. On April 4, 1968, Martin Luther King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. But the movement he helped to lead lived on, inspiring other groups such as Hispanics, women, and the disabled to fight for equal treatment under the law and completing King's legacy of greater social justice for all Americans.
All right, Coyotes, thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.